Hello there, I'm Patrick. Today we are doing a Getting Started with X-Wings HOTAC or Heroes of the Aturi cluster. We will cover what components you're going to need, where you can find all the details such as the rulebook, rules reference, and how to keep up with your collection. We're also going to cover helpful sites and apps to help list building and also finding other people to play with. You will need to decide which version of X-Wing you're going to want to play. There are three versions of HOTAC currently. There is 1.0, 2.0, and 2.5. The link of all three versions are going to be below, but we will be taking you through the latest version, which is 2.5. HOTAC was originally created by Josh Durkins and since has been updated to 2.0 and 2.5 by Sean Tiernan. You can actually visit the Facebook page and see all the questions and comments and active feeds. Also, there is a Discord channel that you can join and actively speak with anyone currently playing almost any of those versions. You can also currently list build through a website called Infinite Arena's homebrew option and print out your own pilot cards or build your own pilots with your own abilities. You'll need to check out Atomic Mass Games for upgrades PDF. That's going to give you the current costs of all the upgrades. As the points do change, so does the costs of experience points required to purchase said upgrades to play. And that website right below is going to be infinitearenas.com/homebrew. And the other site that you can check out current points and such would be Yasb.com or Yasb.app. All right, so we're going to look at the table of all the components that are going to be required to play HOTAC. So we're going to cover everything from making it yourself, buying it, or even, going upgraded as per se. So what you're going to need is you're going to need an X-Wing the Miniatures core set or a Rebel Squadron starter pack. Also, you'll need a 3x3 mat. You're also going to need 12 asteroids and 6 debris clouds. Now, the core set only has about 6 asteroids in it, but the squadron pack is going to have 6 of the asteroids and 6 of the debris fields. So if you each buy one of those, you'll be all set there. You depending on which ship you do take, because you do get options when you start playing HOTAC. You get to either take an X-wing or a Y-wing to start, and you can upgrade to B-wings, A-wings, the Hawk, and you sky's the limit for anything else that you're going to want to run. You're also going to need to decide what ship you're going to be starting with, because the game does allow each player to take a ship from the Rebel faction, such as an X Wing or a Y Wing to start, and then later you can upgrade to an A Wing or a B Wing, a Hawk. The sky's the limit. You could almost put yourself in almost any ship, because not only does the game allow for it, but also fans have created their own list buildings and experience for building ships like E-wings and K-wings, things that the game doesn't include. So make sure that you've determined which ship each person's going to take, and you also can take more than one ship. So you might need 2 X-wings and 2 Y-wings, 2 A-wings and 2 B-wings. It really is up to each player, and you can share parts again and then break down at the end of the day and give everyone back what they had to start. The game also has a lot of Imperial ships. So you have things like the TIE Fighter, TIE Interceptor, TIE Advance, TIE Bombers, and so on and so forth. Even a large base ship like the Lambda Shuttle. That currently isn't in second edition because it doesn't have second edition packaging, but lots of people are selling them online. You can even look for first edition packs where the Lambda Shuttle is actually still available on certain websites or on eBay. And if you have someone that has a 3D printer, they can print one out for you, or you can proxy something in the meantime, such as just a large base, and say that that is the Lambda shuttle. You're also going to need a tokens numbered 1 through 12. And also, you're going to need a bag or a cup to put those in because certain missions are going to require you to draw a number from a bag. And then that number might trigger an event or it might allow something to go to the next phase to where then you draw or keep drawing from the bag until you get the correct number. You're also going to need 6-sided dice. Yes, the game does have the own 8-sided die, but the game uses a either paper version of the AI, or you can use multiple apps for the AI as well. I'll leave the links below because there's xwing .ai.com or there's the X-Wing AI app, or you can just print out the paper that comes with the game and you roll a d6 and then it tells you how to maneuver the TIE fighters on the chart, and it also has one for every ship, so you don't have to worry about that. And finally, terrain. There is a lot of terrain in this game. Yes, terrain as in it's going to go on the table and your ships are going to be flying over it, around it. There are ion clouds, there are space stations, there's turrets, there's lasers, there's docking bays. It is amazing how much terrain is in this game, and each one comes with its own rules. It is so much fun. I understand this might look intimidating, but don't worry. This is a homegrown game. Proxying is 100% acceptable. You can use bases as substitutes, as I said before, cardboard cutouts, or if you don't have what's, required, you can just skip certain missions that you're not set up to play. Also set it up so only certain ships of what you own show up. So if the mission calls for TIE Advanced, you put in a TIE Bomber. If the mission requires TIE Interceptors, put in TIE Advanced if you only have those, or just put in more TIE Fighters. Now, of course, if you want to play the full game and want to build up over time, we're here to help you with that as well. There is always or are always ships being sold by players on eBay, several Facebook pages of people trying to trade. It's easy enough to purchase someone's old collection or increase your supply and fuel the game that you need. Also, if you know someone that has a 3D printer, there are tons of 3D printed Imperial ships. I was able to print some that were literally just snapped together TIE fighters, and you just glue them to a peg, and there you go. You have a makeshift TIE fighter. And because I printed them in multiple colors, they were labeled as their colors, so I didn't have to mark them as numbers or anything. So lots of fun and easy. There also is the matter of terrain. HOTAC has its own terrain, such as the bases, lasers, ion clouds, mines, basically everything I showed you earlier. There are several ways to produce this at home. There is a link to the Google Drive below under the terrain PDF, all the terrain required to play certain missions. Simply download and print it at home, or you can go to a store and print it out. It'll cost some money because you have to pay per page and you have to determine which type of paper you have. And as you can see here, this is exactly what I've done. I've purchased lamination machines and laminated the paper for extended use. There's templates to purchase that are compatible with HOTAC called star flickers. So you can visit the gamecrafter.com/games/star-flickers to see if the game's available. And all of that terrain is the exact size and requirements for the game because it was designed as such. It is its own game because they had to develop their own game for it. So you actually get a bonus out of it, and it runs about $80. So you purchase that, they print it out, they cut it out, they ship it to you, and everything is complete. There's nothing for you to do other than just pop it out of the cardboard and wipe it down real quick. There's also several STLs or 3D models that you can just search out online for free and print out tons of HOTAC terrain, which I've already done. And then if you are really looking forward to it, you can spray paint it or paint it up so it looks more imperial. And you have nice 3D terrain as well. Really brings the game to life. The other thing that the game requires is documents because there is a lot in the campaign book and the mission book, which contains everything you need to know in order to play. That even includes interaction with game pieces, how to move the AI, building your character, and also the table of contents so you can quickly find everything. There, of course, is the PDF version, which you have to download, but you can open that on a computer and look through it there as well if you have a tablet or some sort of phone where you can read them and you don't mind scrolling through. This includes all of the missions, objectives, when and how the enemy comes on the table, and target priority, mission rules, and how to win. Also, unfortunately, how to lose as well, because you can lose and blow up and die. But don't worry about that. You can always create a new character just like in Dungeons and Dragons. So you're also going to notice that this is a cooperative campaign. So you may ask, who are you flying against? The Imperial ships are controlled by artificial intelligence. There is another PDF that takes you out how to move the Imperial ships, how they interact with you as a player. The game comes with the X-Wing AI, as I said earlier, and it is going to be you and your friends against the AI. So you guys get to share and look at each other's dials, plan everything out. You can talk out loud. The AI has no idea what you're saying, nor does it care, because it's all determined randomly on a die roll. So once you have all of these components, or at least some of them, that you need, you can start your first mission, which is Local Trouble. This mission is very particular to help you get into the game. It is a simple walkthrough of just your group flying against some TIE fighters. You start with your X Wings or Y Wings equipped. You start with some XP so that you can start building your character right away. And then you go head to head with some TIE fighters, keep track of your experience, and as you play, and even track how many Imperial dogs you destroy. And I really like this mission because it takes you through how to learn the AI and how it moves and interacts with its players. You get to work with it as a team to pile on enemy ships and complete objectives. Now, there is no time limit to this game. However, there are round limits. So make sure you keep a track of what turn you're on and pay attention to your objectives because sometimes certain things will trigger at certain times or you can't complete an objective until a certain amount of turns and so on and so forth. And there are certain missions to where once you're done, you actually have to jump to light speed and get off the map because certain other things might come on the board or it might cause you to be destroyed. In that case, you have to eject. And when you're going through the missions, you'll notice that they'll go through a certain chain. Once you complete that, you'll add another mission to your mission pack. And then basically, it'll take you through an entire storyline. And each time you play, the story can change. Or you'll play a mission that you haven't played the first time. Or you can do full campaigns or short campaigns to where you only play maybe 5 or 6 missions to 9 to 12 missions. And of course, you can always play more than one mission in one night, which it will take you a long time to do. But that's the whole point. It is hours of fun. You guys can take breaks, laugh, have fun, and try not to get killed out there because that can happen. So remember, the overall point is to have fun. Feel free to replay missions if you didn't understand something and it caused you to fail or draw a different mission if it's too hard. You can even adjust the mission, less TIE fighters, or lower the player count because the number of players determines your level of difficulty. So if you have 3 players, maybe only 5 TIE fighters show up. If you have 4 players, maybe 8 show up. So don't feel bad if you have to lower the difficulty some because I've had to. I've even had to increase the difficulty because some missions are just possibly too easy or my players are just too damn good. Um, so don't worry about adjusting. You can also replay missions and build a new pilot and carry over pilots into new campaigns. So if you have a veteran pilot with rookie pilots, it's all going to balance out because also it does go off of levels. Because if you are all initiative 2, but one guy is initiative 6 or one girl, then it will average out to a certain amount, and that's going to trigger different things to show up. So maybe when you played the previous time, it was only 5 TIE fighters and a TIE advance, but now you got this ace with you, and then all of a sudden now another ace shows up to combat him, or TIE bombers show up instead, or you draw from the Imperial deck and just a random TIE fighter shows up with abilities that you never even knew that they had. So I really hope that this video was helpful and your first campaign goes smoothly. Never hesitate to reach out to the community for help or advice, even share ideas about your own missions and experiences. Check out the links below to help you find whatever it is that you're looking for. Leave a comment below and let us know how we can directly help you if you'd like. So that's it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask even below. Even in my Discord, the HOTAC Discord, the online Facebook Discord. Sean Tiernan is regularly on there answering questions, as am I, as much as possible. And that's about it. We hope that this video helps you. I have all the information I have below with all the links to all the things. So even if you've missed out on some things or if you never knew things existed, you can jump below and see what else is out there because there's not only HOTAC, there's also the Imperial version, which is Flight Group Alpha. And there's even a Scum version that's currently out there and still in development to where you can be Scum pilots and fight against the Imperials and the Rebels at the same time. So there is never a short, list to this. There's always more in development. There's always more being added, and it is so much fun. So hope this video helps. We're gonna make another video on learn to play HOTAC so that way you can learn more things or learn how to play this game from start to finish. That's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to click like and subscribe and have a good one.